Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Soul Awakening by yours truly. Today I have a very special guest. Her name is Cherry, and she lives in California right now. And this is a story about how she got with her Dee and also her spirituality journey. So let's get on to it. So the first question I actually asked her was, "Who are you as a person? What is the best way to describe you?" And she writes, My name is Charisma. I cannot say her name right. I am 24 years old. The way I would describe myself is someone who is sympathetic to others and caring. I like to help people in all their endeavors. That is the main reason why I chose to be a spiritualist, someone who's on the spiritual journey, because I believe that my spiritual journey can help those in need and also help those who are lost. And I just like to be able to help people. And I also understand when people who are upset and also people who feel like they're lost. I want to be able to be that shining light to help them out. And then I asked her, what do you think? I asked her about her core values. It says right here, I am a Santa Marta's devotee. I even asked her about her devotee right here, also known as the Saint of Death, the Holy Death. As a child, I didn't really feel in touch with the religion, but I always felt a presence of like no other. I have always been attracted to skulls and skeletons, and over time, as I went through my journey, I went through every religion and spiritual path that I can think of until I became a devotee. I have too so much faith. Um, I have so much faith and love for her, Santa Motas, which I also love her. I do think she's a great deity. I love her. Um, she's a really great person if you need justice or someone tries to wrong you. She's really great. I would say. The way it is has molded me is she makes me want to be a better person and a better mama. She's a mama to a cute little baby girl named Cherry who's 3 years old. Um, she has taught me patience and how to truly love not just others but myself as well. She also says like she's also be proudly Hispanic, which also is a great thing about the whole spirituality aspect. Cherry is also someone who also goes on live like me, goes on gets on, does tarot readings as and stuff. And also is someone who doesn't really charge a lot for her readings, which I love. And she's someone has also taught me some stuff and I also taught her about, what I learned and what she discovered in spirituality as well. She is a really big devotee and I love it. Another thing I also say about her is she's also someone who has her core values in her spirituality, which is my core values are respect, authenticity, and honesty. I like to uphold people who to the same standard that I hold myself to. And also she does understand that people in the culture may be struggling and she understands that people may be so lost within themselves that they're like, oh, why hasn't this happened? Oh, why hasn't why haven't I got money, or why haven't X, Y, and Z. Why didn't they get justice? Why didn't I get justice for what they did to me? It all talks about patience, and it's really just about the idea of what Cherry has said. It's really about, it's not about who gets back at people. It's not really about getting revenge, but it's also like the idea of you being peace within yourself. That's enough to anger anyone's demons. And if, it's quite funny when I say that. It's like, oh, you anger people's demons, I take it at them. That is true, though. It is pretty much true. But the purpose really for this episode is really just the idea of getting to know people who are, might be a devotee than what I would be, which I will discuss in another episode of what who I work with and why do I work with them and what do I do that's special. So Cherry tells me she has about 7 different statues of Santa Motas. There is a green one, a red one, an orange one, a black one, a white one. Each of the 7 different robe colors of Santa Marta's means something. Green means money, which she's covered in money. Orange means judgment, or I think that's communication. I can't remember. I know red is for passion. Pink is for love. It's like the different candle colors that I have in my room that I do spells. Cherry absolutely loves the money one of Santa Marta's because she always brings money. She always brings money. She does. Like Sherry would tell me, you have to give Santa Marta's a book about her. You have to like give her food. You have to make sure her candles are lit. You have to make sure that Santa Motas does want to work with you, because I know there's people who try to work with her and then she's like, nope, I'm not working with you, or she turns off their candles. What I mean by turning off candles is where she just blows them out, and then she's like, nope, I'm not working with you. Nope, nope, nope. Some deities are stubborn. I will say that she did tell me. She also has tried another deity. I can't remember the name, but she tried another one where she felt like she was. It wasn't Santa Motas. This is before she went to with Santa Motas. There was another deity she was with that was really strict to the point where Cherry couldn't give her the offerings that she needed, and this deity would be so demanding to the point where it would turn things upside down. So after a little bit, Cherry decided to not want to be a deity and not be a devotee anymore to that one deity. And then when Santa Motas came to her, I think three or 4 years ago, she really spoke to her and she really has helped her, grow as a person, make her business. And actually, the coolest thing about Cherry is she wants to be in business management. She's actually a local college student like us. She just wants to be a human resource manager, or something in human resources, where she doesn't just want to be there for the company, but she wants to be there for the employees, just like my manager Rodrigo from Sports Connection, which we love Rodrigo. And then she also goes on more about her life about Hispanic and how Hispanic connects to spirituality. A lot of Hispanics, like the Mexican, Dominican, Peruvian, Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican, we all are connected in spirituality in one way. We don't all have the same deity, but we have different deities that are connected to spirituality. Also, our culture and our Hispanic ways. I will say that it's not very different, but I would say that it's something where it is something to be proud of, and it's something where we don't have to feel pressured. But it's a great thing about being a part of spirituality, because you get to be within yourself and you also get to be who you are as a person. Because I do think it's a great thing. Like I said, um, a lot of people will look down on spirituality. I'm not gonna lie. There's people who have looked down on it. What I mean by that is people will say, "Oh, you're just a witch. That means you don't know anything, or you're a faker. You're this and that." Not a lot of us are fakers. I mean, you go on TikTok, yeah, there's a lot of fakes. There is a lot of them. Even Cherry agrees. As I was talking to her, I think a couple nights ago about this, she was saying there's a lot of people who are so rude to the point where they scare off their clients and they don't want to go back. Like, you don't want to go back to somebody who's super rude. Like, yeah, maybe they could be right, but if they're gonna be super rude, it doesn't matter if they're right or not. Like, it's the way you have to approach things and the way you have to like talk to people when it comes to that. I mean, by people doing that, you're giving spirituality and working with deities a really bad name and a bad taste in their mouths, because you're going to prevent them from wanting to learn about these things. You're going to prevent them from wanting to, want to do things. It's just it's crazy. Because in my opinion, I mean, I've had rude customers. I've had people who are so rude to the point where they don't even want like services or anything. They just want to like poke fun or just make fun of me, just because I do tarot, just because whatever it is. I just think it's really weird. I think it's just not the great taste in your mouth when you have that thing. But I mean, there's so much to learn. Like Cherry would say, Cherry always said this too. Like last night, she said, "Why can't we peep? Why can't people be nice? Why can't people just say, okay, I need to learn this, or I want to learn this, and I want to do the correct way, not the other way where it's just like you're just gonna use it just to scam people and just to get money." That's not what it's about. Spirituality is not about money. It's all about coming together and helping those in need and helping people get answers for what they need. Because sometimes, people need that answer. People need that reassurance that okay, everything's gonna be all right. But if it's not all right, then we were gonna tell you it's not all right. We also don't really like to lie. Us readers don't like to lie a lot. Some do just to keep fit to save face, but I mean that's the one thing I will definitely say. People don't like to do all that, but again, what Cherry does say over and over again is whatever deity or whoever you want to work with, be sure you could stick with them, and be sure that if you work with multiple, make sure you have separate tables for them. Make sure you have a separate altar, because if you don't, other deities can also get jealous to the point where they don't want to work with you anymore, or they just abandon you for no reason. which I think is wrong. Which I don't. I mean, it is sad to say. It is sad to say that it is true. I wish it wasn't true, but in today's world, it's unfortunately is true. But I would not. I would never discourage anyone from wanting to do spirituality or anything like that. I think it's a beautiful thing. Again, it depends on who you want to work with, and it depends on who you want to be as a person. That's just the main thing. The main big thing would be, who do you want to be? Why do you want to get into this field? Why do you want to be a part of it? Why do you I mean, look at Cherry. I mean, look, Cherry went from, going to community college to university just like me, you know? Whoever says you can't do it, you can do it. That's like the one thing I'm going to say. Also, just because you're Latina doesn't mean you can't work with Santa Matas, or you can't work with other deities that are from a Pacific region or Pacific culture. You can work with anybody you want, as long as you have faith and as long as you're able to be respectful and just wanting to look up and research. And all right, sorry, but that's just the one thing I will initially say. Again, why would you disrespect deities that you don't know? And why wouldn't no one want to be part of spirituality? It has a lot of benefits, like she said over and over again. But as I wrap this up, Cherry was wanted to say a few things about, people who want to start and people who are curious. And that is understandable why some people find it difficult, and it's understandable why people are afraid, because they're afraid, oh, something bad's going to happen to me, or this situation is going to probably get worse if I get involved. It it can go 50-50. It depends who you work with. If you stay with the good, you stay with the good. If you work with the bad, you're going to get bad results. Or something that's quicker, but you have to sacrifice a lot more, maybe, like, do extra things that some deities don't really do, or things that may not make sense at first. But whatever people choose, it is their life, and they can do whatever is necessary to be a part of spirituality and those who are whole. Cherry would also like to emphasize about a little bit more about her culture. Um, she would say, she would say the music and the food and everything about her culture is beautiful. Okay, because again, her spirituality comes from her culture and comes from what she wants to do. Um, but yeah, but it's just something that's really is beautiful, and it's something where it's something that no one can take away. But I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy everything that has transpired for this new episode, my first episode here for Soul Awakening. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys and also I thank Cherry. We love you, Cherry. We love you. We hear this. We love you, Cherry. We love you to death, girlie. Mwah. Bye. Jobs outside of manual labor. I have seen so many people with degrees having a hard time finding jobs because they need a sponsorship by their employer, which is outrageous because there's so many intelligent Hispanic people that are struggling. Also, the biggest advice she wanted to say was, I would say, don't give up no matter what people say or no matter how tough life gets. There are so many people who would love to employ you or be your friend and also be part of your spirituality journey, which is the big thing about spirituality. She would say there's a lot of people that she finds who are friends, including myself. Again, I'm sorry that I didn't add this part to this podcast. I'm sorry. I'm gonna probably make a part two and just say, hey, this is like no, like just 2 minutes. My bad. Anyways, so that's one thing she would say. Also, there's other people who say, also finding a friend or person who are open and love the culture, which, because again, Hispanic culture and spirituality itself is a beautiful thing, especially when it comes to the idea of what would it be like to go into another person's culture, and what do they do that's different, or what they do that's similar to your culture, or whatever that might be. It's just a beautifall thing overall in all, if you give me my opinion. But I would definitely say, in my opinion, spirituality is a very beautiful thing, as Sherry has mentioned before. And in this next episode, we're going to go more about, you know, what I do, what my spirituality is like, and how I embrace it every day in my life. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I hope you guys do like this as well as I make this episode and I make it the way it needs to be. Um, But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so, so much. I appreciate you all. Good afternoon. Good night.